Hello and welcome to the London Bulls Podcast with me, Tom, and of course my good friend KD. KD, how are you, mate? You well?
Tom, sir, very good to see you as always. What a busy few weeks it's been football-wise. We obviously had the international break, went to the game together at Wembley. Sadly, Jarrod, the goal is still elusive to us, isn't it? We're still waiting for that special moment. He seems to be getting closer. But it's not. Doesn't seem to be happening. I was out in Dublin as well, and he almost scored there. But fingers crossed, we'll see a goal from him sometime soon. But what did you make
So.
of the games, Tom?
Yeah, so obviously I wasn't in Dublin with you, but
Part
I
time,
think
mate.
England obviously, yeah, England played well first half. We seem to be clicking quite well, gelling quite well. Obviously it is mostly the team that Southgate would have picked with a couple of changes. But and then yeah, second half I think was a bit flat. Um, you know, and it was like watching England, of old really, where it was a bit boring, and that's why, those are the sorts of games really where people have fallen out of love with international football, apart from tournaments, because England play well for 45 minutes and then they just don't. I don't know if it's we're sitting back. I don't know if it's, I don't know. And then it was sort of the opposite on Tuesday then, where we had a bit of a lackluster first half, didn't quite click, and then second half a lot better. So yeah, good to get some goals, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice seeing Harry Kane get his 100th cap as well. I remember I was giving him some grief actually I was saying he doesn't seem with it really
Mm.
since the Euros. And then when I said that, he scored, didn't he? He scored two. As you know, that always seems to happen, doesn't it? But
Yeah,
amazing player, really. I mean, he had it off summer, I thought personally, but he's still one of the top
yeah.
scorers. Can't knock a player of his quality. He's been absolutely incredible. And I'm really enjoying fastly ball. Really liking the look of it. We seem to be a bit more creative. It's nice seeing Jack Grealish back. He's looking really good. But,
Mm.
let's get into the Hereford action now, shall we? That's
Mm.
enough England for now. We'll be covering a few of the last few games of the last few weeks, some of our upcoming fixtures, and what's been happening around the club. Before we do that, though, Tom, I know you had a really important message you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so obviously this week was World Mental Health Day. We put a few posts out on the London Bulls and shared a few things. I think it's just so important to just keep putting that message out there of you know, it's okay not to be okay. But you're never alone. If you do ever feel down or lost, or that, you're not feeling yourself, just know that there are people around that care about you. Um, I think for both of us, and I'm not saying that we've necessarily been going through overly tough times, but having the London Bulls has been fantastic for us. That community, there's some great people involved. Some people I'm honoured to call friends now, and you know, we the WhatsApp group, the group chat has been fantastic. It's a really nice environment. It doesn't get too tasty, and it's a really nice place to be. And I implore anybody, if you ever feel like, if you're listening to this, that you feel like you're alone, just get in contact with one of us, with somebody. There are some fantastic charities out there, and we'll put them on the screen, and we'll put them in the description afterwards. Contact numbers for them. We'll put a link in to sort of join up with our membership scheme as well, which you can sort of sign up to updates, and you can sign up to the WhatsApp group, and that's the point. And I just think it's so important. We've all felt down, we've all felt like we don't belong at times, and it's so important, I think, to have a community around you that cares about you, and I've definitely felt that with the London Bulls, and I just implore anyone to take that on.
Yeah, really powerful words, man. I echo exactly everything you said. And Particularly with London, I mean, it's a super busy city. People that have moved here from Hereford, you can feel very isolated here. It's a very fast-paced city and you can feel very alone at times. And that's what we're here to try and solve. We're a group of people that love the club and we're here for each other. So as Tom said, get in touch with us. We've also shared a really powerful video that Norwich City made last season about checking in with friends. So that's really important too. You never know who's suffering. So always check in on people that you care about. But yes, really powerful message there. And right, let's get into some of our reflections of the last few games. We went up to Brackley, didn't we, my good friend?
Certainly did, mate. It was you went on the train. You went from London. I drove up from where I live in Maidenhead. So my journey was quite quick, really. But how was yours? What did you how did you find it?
Yeah, it was actually my first live game of the season because I'm part-time, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, Brackley, mileage-wise, isn't that bad to get to, but through public transport, it's a bit of a nightmare. It was actually probably quicker for me to go to Warrington away or Spennymoor than to Brackley. What an incredible result, mate. 2-1 win. I don't think we've ever scored at Brackley. I don't think we've ever won there or got any points. So absolutely brilliant result. And it was amazing to see Tate Campbell in the flesh, to be honest with you. I could really see what everyone's been raving on about. And for him to score that goal in the last minute, we just looked so good and composed. And we really match Brackley in terms of quality. They're a really good outfit. So just a fantastic win for us, really. I mean, what did you think? What did you think in terms of your reflections?
Yeah, I think it's a funny one because they are a good side. We've never had a lot of luck there, and I think at times you could see they were a good side. You could see that we were maybe a little bit I won't say nervous, but we weren't quite at it, and that was, but we kept going, and we scored that goal. It was a little bit of a some great runs, and then it sort of pinged about a bit. Babos got it in, which was great. It's in right in front of us as well, which was great. But I think to go and score and to keep going and to go and score in the 94th minute, the winner. I mean, it was again, no wonder it's goal of the season because it was brilliant and some great passes, but it was just so positive. That goal, the passes were positive. We haven't had players that have just stuck the ball, tried to put the ball through and commit, and go for it really, because we could have lost the ball then and they could have scored. But Tate got through and finished it really calmly. And then they nearly scored right at the end. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, also shout out to Mr. Matt Preston. We now sponsor his away kit, so good debut for him, really, and for us. For him to be involved in that build-up for Tate's goal. So well done, Matt. Really good goal. Also, just a big shout out to the chairman. He actually came in to see us for a beer. Came to see the London Bulls for a beer just before the game, which is really nice. Chatted with a few fans, and it was really nice to see, him making an effort with the fans and coming to see us, which is brilliant. And I know a few London Bulls sadly couldn't make the trip because of queuing for Oasis tickets. Hopefully they managed to get them. I know there was about 2 million in the queue ahead of me when I joined the link, but sadly I didn't even get one. And then we went to we had the Needham market game, didn't we, on the Tuesday? Not a great result, was it?
No, it wasn't. And I just wonder if we're a bit tired or obviously I know we changed a couple of players. Maybe that, tactically we got it wrong. But I mean, you'd expect us to win. You'd expect us to beat Needham. But, fair play to them. They again, a little bit like Radcliffe, they didn't just sit back and try and go for a point. They wanted to win and, they did. So, we were poor, but, they won. So it's disappointing, isn't it? Really, it's the inconsistency. That's what's going to kill us at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a bit gutted about the invincible season being over now. Do you know what I mean? But I think we're still joint top scorers, which is brilliant to see. You're right. I mean, the consistency is just so bizarre, isn't it? I mean, we should have been beating teams like Peterborough Sports and Radcliffe at home, and it just seems. I mean, I hope this doesn't bite us on the backside towards the end of the season. Really, I mean, we should be dominating teams really at home. But I mean, why do you think? Can you put your finger on it? Do you understand why we might not be able to be, winning these games? Why do we seem to be dropping points?
I mean, it's at home, isn't it? Um, I don't know. I don't know if because obviously Edgar Street we've got as illustrated behind both of us. We've got a brilliant pitch for football, and I just wonder. And I haven't been at the home games, so I can't say whether this is happening or not. But if we are lumping it up or we're not playing football, then that's going to cost us. When we like in the Brackley game, and I would say it Chorley as well. When we were lumping it up a little bit, we were rushing things. But when we started to play football and started to be a bit more, relaxed, and then somebody would make that pass, and all of a sudden it opened the game up. And so I just wonder if I don't know if we're getting it tactically wrong at home or whether, I know I'm not criticizing the players or Cadiz at all, but is it that they can't do it in front of a big crowd? I don't want to go down that route. I'm not questioning their integrity or their character. And I know they obviously they want to win. That's the whole point. But something just isn't right. I don't know if it's a combination of those factors or just something isn't right.
Yeah, you're totally right. And we talk about tiredness, but look how far Needham travelled that day and how far they had to travel back. So, even in terms of distance, we should have really been utilising that, taking advantage of the distance that they travelled. But and talking of inconsistencies, then we had a great point at Spennymoor a few days later, didn't we? A team we traditionally just not done well against away. And I thought that was a fantastic point, to be honest with you. Sadly, we didn't win, but I would have taken that before the game.
Yeah, yeah, mate. I totally agree. I think that's what's been brilliant about this season so far is that we've gone to teams that traditionally we haven't sometimes even got a point with Brackley, and Spennymoor we've really struggled, and yet we're doing it this season. We're getting their better results now. And then we go and ruin it by, losing 1-0 to Needham or drawing with Radcliffe or Peterborough Sports. And it's, you know, I'm so glad that we went and got that draw against Spennymoor. But we just gotta sort it out. We're fifth. At the end of the day, 8 games gone, we're fifth. We've won 3 games, we've drawn 4. That's a really good, obviously lost one. That's a really good record so far. If we can just turn 1 or 2 of those draws into wins, then it's if you just took, I don't know, the Peterborough Sports draw, turned it into a win, we're on 15 points now, we'd be in second. So that's the big difference. There's nothing in it really, but as we'll come on to with some of the games coming up, Kings Lynn are 3 places below us, and yet they're on the same points.
Yeah.
So that's how tight it is now.
It's a very tight. It looks like Scunthorpe have already run away with it.
It does.
I mean, they've been doing so well. I think they're on 20 points at the moment as we speak. But yeah, you're right. I mean, in terms of general kind of season so far, I would have taken this at this stage already. Cadiz has really recruited well, hasn't he? Just slightly bizarre with Montel Gibson. I mean, that situation was a bit weird, wasn't it? I mean, Sunday, I think he messaged Paul and then said he's got a new job opportunity and then instantly signed for Matlock Town. So, don't really know what happened there, but I wish him all the best. He performed well for us, but it's just sad we couldn't really keep him. But I guess it means we can keep Akeem Rose, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? It has enabled us to keep Rose. Obviously, look, Montel's done a fantastic job for us. He scored some goals, and he's looked brilliant. I think one thing that you can't ever criticize someone for is doing the best thing for their family. We're in part-time football. If it was a professional contract we had, and then he was trying to go for part-time football, you can sort of see it if that's what he wants to do for his family. But yeah, look, good luck to him. I hope it works out for him at Matlock. My only concern is he has had a lot of clubs in not a particularly long period of time. So I just want him to do it for the right reasons, and I hope that for him it is, and that's I wish him really, really well. And then great that we've signed Akeem. on a, for longer for the season now. I think so. That's massive because he's been great. He's been a regular in the side, and hopefully Jason Kaylee's not far away either. So we should be all right, but we'll see. See how it
Yeah,
goes.
I mean, speaking of Cali, hopefully he will take part in some of our upcoming fixtures. And we have Ilkeston this Saturday, big
Mm,
FA Cup game for us. I mean, the FA Cup's so important, isn't it? I mean, the prize money that's involved is huge for us. I mean, you get a massive team in some of the first round, second round, third round proper games. It could be season changing.
yeah,
I mean, that's what we hope for, right? A Premier League team will win the third round. That's the dream.
yeah.
I remember when we
Well,
played.
you can play, you can play Birmingham in the first round. We don't have to get that far to play a side with a big ground.
You know,
Um,
oh God, how tasty would that be? That'll probably be put on
I mean
TV,
that'd be
wouldn't
insane,
it?
wouldn't it? Yeah,
Unbelievable. I
we've got to
mean,
get there first, and we've got to beat them. And I think we've got to beat Ilkeston first, and they, they're not a bad team. They're sort of similar-ish record to us. They've lost one more game. That's all. That's the big difference, and we've drawn that game. So obviously they're in the league below, but it's the Northern Prem, and I tell you something, it's a very difficult league if you look at some of the teams that are in it, and they're not doing too badly, but they did lose their last game on Tuesday 2-0. So we'll see.
hopefully they come to us really low in confidence so we can batter them. Boost our own confidence at home, to be honest. I think it's going to be a
Absolutely.
really horrible and scrappy game on Saturday.
Mm.
I think it's going to be a 2-1 win. I think they might even maybe take the lead even, but then we'll come back. It's just going to be one of those games, isn't it? You just can't ever
Yeah, it will be, mate. Yeah.
walk over these clubs. But I actually weirdly confused Ilkeston with Ibstock, and I don't know if you know much about Ibstock United, but they have the same badge as us, which is really bizarre. So if you're watching, Google Ibstock United's badge. They use the Hereford crest, which is really interesting, and they have the bull on there. I don't really know the history behind that, but yeah, have a look if you get a chance. And yes, so obviously we'll be winning the FA Cup and hopefully getting into Europe. But then
Yeah. Well, yeah, we will be, won't we? So.
after that, we focus on the bread and butter of Kings Lynn,
Mm.
which will also be another tough game. We're both going down to that, aren't we, Tom?
We are both going to that one. Yes, yes. We'll be obviously in the prawn sandwich brigade, though. We're in the hospitality that day, so that'll be nice. Anyway, we go to Edgar Street anymore, mate.
You got to say that. I mean, the price of hospitality is absolutely brilliant, really. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic
Yeah.
for what you get for it. I
Mm.
think the highest you really pay is £49 if you're not a season
Mm-hmm.
ticket holder,
Mm.
and you get your meal with it, the match ticket, a great view of the game. You can hear from guest speakers, so it's really worth looking into it if you ever want a day out at Edgar Street. We're obviously
Yeah.
doing our own one. I think we mentioned before on
Mm-hmm.
the 9th of November against Marine. So if anyone would like to join us, please do get in touch. But I mean, what do you make of Kings Lynn's record so far this season? They've always been a bogey side as well, I've found. Do you think
Yeah.
we'll beat them?
I mean, look, they're on the same points as us, but they've won their games rather than drawn them really. Um, we are struggling at home. That's my only worry. I think, you know, they're a good side, they're a bogey side. I think if we came out of it with a draw, but as it stands, I'd be happy because I think it's a real tough game for us. But maybe it's one we need to be trying to win. And we've got the players. I think they're they're doing really well at the moment. Big positive is that we're not playing same midweek. It is just Saturday to Saturday, so it gives us 2 training sessions, and it just any knocks we might pick up on in the FA Cup, at least they might be sorted. So yeah, um, I'm positive enough about it. I think I think it'll be all right, but yeah, it's going to be a tough game, isn't it?
It's a really good point that, I mean, now having just Saturday fixtures is so beneficial for us. Obviously, we only train, I think, Tuesday, Thursday. So when we're playing Tuesday games, there's only one training session a week, really, isn't it? So
Yeah,
hopefully Cadiz can spend a bit more time with the players now and work on different tactics and things like that. But yeah, that'll be a really tough game. Hopefully we can get all 3 points. And also, I think the draw for the FA Cup third round qualifying will happen shortly after the Ibstock game, I believe, on the Monday. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we could get a London club. I mean, that would be really nice, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I don't know what the sort of regions it is, because obviously we were in the north region for the last for this round, so I'm guessing we might be again. But fingers crossed it isn't like that, and we can get a slightly more south team. But look, we've got to get through first. I mean, what do you think the score will be on Saturday in the FA Cup?
I've gone for 2-1. And I think Ilkeston will take the lead, and then we'll come back.
Really?
And I think against Kings Lynn we'll win 3-0. I'm going all out, mate. I think that'll give us a massive confidence boost at home, and then we'll go for it against Kings Lynn, I think. Wow. Got a good feeling. Got a really good feeling. We'll be there as well. We have to win.
Certainly. Yeah, well, yeah.
What about your predictions?
I think it'll be 3-1 in the cup. I think we'll win 3-1. I think Kings Lynn maybe 2-2.
Oh, nice.
There you go. That's me dumb. Yeah, no, I'm not explaining myself. I'm just saying it. That's
great. Thank you. Nice.
Just have to accept it now.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate. We should do like a forfeit, I think, like to add more tension to the score predictions. Yeah. Maybe if you get it wrong, there's like a happy slap live on the pod.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, comment below what you think we should do as a forfeit if whoever gets the score wrong or the furthest out. That'll be you against Kings Lynn because you've said 3-0. But so what can we make KD do essentially? That's what we're trying to do.
You have to do a Gary Lineker. Present topless, I think.
In your pants.
Just in your Hereford FC pants. If you've got any Hereford FC undies. No. Maybe
I only wear Hereford FC undies, mate. That's my rule.
London Bulls undies, I think we need to get onto that.
That'd be good.
That'd be a great Christmas present, that. Right. Let's get onto some London Bulls specific things. I think, we mentioned Matt Preston and us sponsoring him, but we just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that contacted. The reception was really overwhelming. We actually raised the funds quite quickly, which was really good to see. And hopefully we can continue to keep supporting any Hereford FC players in the future with sponsorship. And also hopefully we can get him on the pod at some point. It'd be really good to maybe, sit down with him, just talk about his experiences. I actually remembered he played against West Ham for Kidderminster. I think he was up against Jarrod Bowen, actually. So it'd be good to ask him about that game in the FA Cup, I think a season or two ago. And I know we we're going to talk about Warrington away, weren't we? So did you want to talk about the National League TV stuff?
Well, obviously we don't know. But it's, it's our next sort of Tuesday game where there's potential for it. So if there is, we'll try and we'll organise a screening, possibly our usual in Marylebone. They might be able to accommodate us, but it's very frustrating about this National League TV stuff at the moment, that we can't really tell whether something's going to be on or not, but hey ho. But no, it'd be great to get down there, and because obviously it is a Tuesday rather than, I think we got Curzon on the Saturday before that, so away. So it's either a trip up to Manchester for a long weekend, or come and watch it with the London Bulls. I know where I'd rather be.
Yeah, it's such a shame. I mean, it's such a powerful thing for us as a group. It really just brings everyone together, and it's just annoying we don't get much notice of it. But hopefully when DAZN come in and take over the rights, we'll have more notice, and there might be more games being streamed. Sadly, we didn't get the chance to do it with Spennymoor because a lot of people are away. I was in Dublin watching England.
Were you, mate? You haven't mentioned that yet.
I've mentioned it, but and also, we talked about hospitality. If you would like to join us for the game against Marine on the 9th of November, please do get in touch, and you're more than welcome to join us on our table, where a few people will be coming down to watch that game. But shall we go into Memory Corner now, our favourite part of the pod?
You'd like to, yeah.
And what game have we selected today, Tom?
Well, with the fact it's been the international break and we were thinking about what should we talk about, we have plumped on a game where a certain 17-year-old scored his first senior goal for his hometown club. and it's of course the Hereford Alfreton game in the 13-14 season. Second to last game of the season. A lot riding on it. If Hereford win, we have to go to Aldershot. And if Chester had lost that day when we played Alfreton, we'd have gone to Aldershot and only needed the draw. However, we won, Chester won, and it took it to that last game of the season that we talked about before against Aldershot. But that Alfreton game, with so much riding on it. Obviously, Peter Beale was in charge. There was just so much going on. And then 7 minutes in, 1-0 down. And we're relegated. We'd have been relegated if we'd have drawn that day because Chester won. So that's how much was on it, So that was pretty heartbreaking. And then, 28th minute, Kingsley James, who I quite liked as a player. I liked him. I thought he was a good lad. He's a decent midfielder, and he's played all over now, hasn't he? So yeah, I was sort of glad when he obviously popped up because that was good for us. And then so going in at half time, 1-1,
Honestly, mate, when I looked at the goals on YouTube earlier, and I actually got really emotional when I saw Jarrod score. When he got his first goal, honestly, you could see the happiness in his face. He literally slips while he's running to his friends in the crowd, and they all just kind of pile in on him. And from what I remember that day, just getting to the ground, it was so tense. As you said, we could have been relegated that day. Jarrod literally saved us for another week. Even obviously we didn't survive, sadly, but there was so much running on that game, and you could sense the desperation. When you look at the statistics, we had 20 shots. We were literally trying to get it in from anywhere. 60% possession. It was a really fantastic kind of ending. I remember seeing grown men around me crying. To be honest with you, I genuinely.
It was though, wasn't it?
But even though then, we won, we still. The chances are still really low of surviving. That's the thing. We were still 2 points off after the win. But it's just we're there. We're still in there. Do you know what I mean?
We even though we'd won that day, because Chester had won, we had to beat Aldershot. And hope that Chester didn't beat Salisbury, and so obviously that turnaround that happened at Aldershot was literally everything that needed to happen in that one moment. And but as you say, I think Don Collins got the second goal, and then Jarrod to make it 3-1. That was just insane. And then Alfreton scored another goal, and it was a bit like, oh my, this is it. They're going to score again, aren't they? And that's it. We're gone. And you're frantically trying to check for the Chester score, and your phone's not working because everyone's doing the same thing, and it was the same against Aldershot. You just didn't know what was going on, and you just knew we had to win, whatever happens. And we dug in, we got the win, and the rest is history. But especially for Jarrod, but that goal, he just took it so well for a 17-year-old making his debut that day. Just incredible technique. And I was in the Meadow End, and I just remember running down to where they were and just jumping on a mass of people, and that's what it's all about. That is what football is all about. That's what I love it for.
Yeah, he's not, and it's always emotional when we see him run out of Wembley. We saw his first game at Alfreton. I think I mentioned in the pod in the summer, I saw him at a training session with England, and I was like, I saw your goal against Alfreton, and I think he thought it was really weird. Well, I'm weird anyway, but
we knew that.
From this guy. Fair play to the guy. It's been absolutely incredible, and I think Peter Beale deserves credit as well. He came into a really tough situation, and straight from the youth side, knew some players like Billy Murphy, who I can see is in the lineup.
Yeah.
Some real throwback characters here, like Daniel Lloyd-Weston. I remember him wearing that cap against Aldershot, that red, because the sun was going in his eyes. Rob Purdy, Luke Graham, some real good characters there. Chris Bush, actually, really interesting. There's a video of him on YouTube showing Maya Jama around Edgar Street in 2013, which is I didn't know happened. But Maya Jama has been to Edgar Street, and she does a
so random
challenge with Chris Bush. have a look at that. If you knew that, let us know. But yeah, just some amazing characters in that squad to keep us up. And
Yeah.
obviously they were, a lot of those players haven't been paid. I mean,
Yeah, and they kept going.
yeah, I mean, they were owed money by the club, and it was just incredible, really, to see their commitment to, which was fantastic. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think it's interesting because after the game, Jarrod was interviewed and he was describing his goal, and he said Kingsley James put the cross in, and when I saw my shot hit the back of the net, I was over the moon. I could have cried with happiness, and I was going wild because it was my first goal. And you just think, look at what he's gone and done now. He scored the winning goal for West Ham in that conference final. He's played at the Euros. He's played in the final, and you just can't like it. That's just incredible. What a rise! We've talked about it before, but you know, there he is, nearly crying with happiness because he scored his first goal. And yeah, look at him now.
and
Great,
that's
man.
the thing, mate. I
Love
mean,
it.
even after, sadly, us folding after the Aldershot game, and you can't imagine in that moment you would have ever thought he would have gone on to do all that, as you just said.
Mm,
Like, he was probably in a really low
mad.
moment. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I mean, he's lost his role,
Yeah.
the club, and a lot of those players now, they probably watch him as well, being like, God, I really remember that, and they tell their mates in
Mm,
the pub and stuff that I actually used to play with
yeah,
Jarrod. No one probably believe him.
definitely
Um,
not.
but yeah, what a fantastic memory that was. What a great day.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, great memories, mate. And yeah, okay. Not that long after it sort of all went a bit wrong, but we don't need to worry about that. We're back now, and that's the main thing. So I just hope we can win on Saturday in the cup and then go and beat Kings Lynn, be great.
Interestingly, the attendance that day was 2,445. So we're
Mm,
actually averaging now higher attendances than then.
yeah. But then it's no wonder because the football was terrible. So,
Yeah, it
it
wasn't
wasn't
brilliant.
great, mate. Probably why we were in trouble, really.
But it's good to see, we got support that could match National League teams and even league clubs, really. I mean, we
Yeah,
regularly
100%.
um, beat attendances with some League One clubs. So, you
Yeah.
know, hopefully we'll
And
be
long may it continue,
back in the promised land soon, my friend. But what a great pod that was. I've really enjoyed that. I hope you have too. Thank you all so much for listening. It's been a really, really good week. Um,
Yeah.
and, hopefully we can get a positive result Saturday, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah. See you in 2 weeks' time. See ya.
See you later, everyone. Bye.